Hello and a very warm welcome to World This Week by Latest Laws. This is our weekly program, so subscribe and press the bell icon to get notified. My name is Monica Rahar and let's get started by having a look at Supreme Court this week. The Honorable Apex Court has dismissed a plea against the election of Congress leader Dhiraj Prasad Sahu as a Rajya Sabha member from Jharkhand in the 2018 elections. The court has issued notices to Kunal Kamra and Rachita Taneja on plea seeking contempt of court actions against these two for tweets against the court and the judges. The top court has stayed the order of the High Court of Andhra Pradesh, which has sought response of government led by Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy on whether there is a situation of constitutional breakdown in the state or not. TV producer Ekta Kapoor has been granted interim protection from arrest in an FIR against her for alleged objectionable content in her web series, which is titled as XXX Season 2. The top court has directed all states to provide a sum of Rs 2,000 a month for education of each child who was in a childcare institution and who has now been restored to his or her family during the COVID-19 crisis. The court has dismissed a plea by German car maker Skoda Volkswagen India challenging an FIR in the state of UP by a customer over the alleged use of cheat device in its diesel car. In a case, the court has ruled that Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Act declaring triple talaq mode of divorce among Muslims illegal didn't take away a person's right to seek anticipatory bail from a competent court. The court, in the case of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University versus Jai Bharat College of Management and Engineering Technology, has held that universities cannot dilute the standards which are prescribed by AICTE for any courses in colleges, but they certainly have the power to stipulate enhanced levels and norms of grant of affiliations. The top court has stated that emergency is something which should not have happened. The court further agreed to hear a plea of a 94-year-old woman who has sought to declare as wholly unconstitutional the proclamation of emergency which was made in the year 1975 during the tenure of the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Now let's proceed to the next segment of our news analysis and have a look at the Delhi High Court this week. So, observing that demonstrators outside the residence of Delhi's Chief Minister have made tents which squeeze into the residential area, the court has asked the Delhi police to look into the matter which pertains to protest being staged by mayors of 3 municipal corporations of Delhi. The High Court has issued a notice on a plea which has challenged Centre's notification constituting an expert appraisal committee for environmental appraisal of thermal power and coal mining projects. The High Court has restrained the Nurses Union of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, which is the AIIMS in New Delhi, from continuing their infinite strike till January 18, which is the next date of hearing of the matter. Now let's proceed to the next segment of our news analysis and have a look at the Bombay High Court this week. So, observing that a criminal case cannot be quashed only on the ground of a compromise between the parties, the Nagpur bench of the High Court last week refused to drop a criminal proceeding against a gynecologist from Nagpur for causing death of a woman soon after she had delivered twins through caesarean section. Now in the next segment, let's move on to the Allahabad High Court. The High Court, while disposing the plea which was filed for issuance of directions to provide certain facilities and protections to Safai Karamcharis and related workers, and the court has kept the petitioner at liberty to approach the competent authorities in this matter. Now coming up next is the segment of Karnataka High Court. The High Court has held that a writ petition under Article 226 of the Indian Constitution is maintainable against a bar association. While deciding a case, the court has ruled that married daughters too are entitled to seek employment on compassionate grounds as they don't cease to be a part of the family after they enter the wedlock. Now let's proceed with the miscellaneous segment of our news analysis. The Mumbai office of the Narcotics Control Bureau has sent a notice to director-producer Karan Johar in connection with a video of 2019 party which was organized by him which had gone viral. The CBI has filed a charge sheet against 4 so-called upper caste men who were accused of the Hathras gang rape, wherein a Dalit girl was allegedly gang raped and further murdered. The UP police had previously claimed that the victim had not been gang raped. Private sector moneylender HDFC Bank has stated that the Reserve Bank of India has asked it to temporarily stop all launches of its upcoming digital business-generated activities and sourcing of new credit card customers after outrage at its data center which impacted operations last month. Republic TV editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami withdrew his anticipatory bail appeal submitted before Mumbai Session Court. Goswami had sought the relief in connection with a case which was registered by the city police for allegedly resisting arrest and obstructing public servants from their official duty on November 4. Now let's proceed with the last segment of our news analysis, which is the international news. The first update that we have is from Pakistan. Days after the Pakistani courts declared Nawaz Sharif fugitive, Pakistan starts extradition process. In a victory for the LGBTQ community, a US federal court has overturned a ban which was imposed by Ohio State that prevented transgender people from changing the sex designation on their birth certificates. Swedish appeals court has said that telecoms regulator PTS would be able to conduct 5G spectrum auctions, setting aside an earlier ruling, although it remained an option for Chinese telecom equipment maker Huawei to appeal the decision. Human rights activists and groups have condemned a new Hungarian law that effectively bans adoption for same-sex couples. Alright, so that's all we have for this week. The links of all these news updates, they are made available in the description section for your kind perusal, and thank you for being with us.